Hi there, how's it going? Bit of a book review coming up for you now, and this book review is film related, and it's something I was telling the user Piper Dork about not too long ago, because she loves the B movies and classic horror films and stuff, more than most modern horror films and monster movies and stuff. And they are 3 books which I've got here, written by Stephen Jones, and they are the Illustrated Vampire Movie Guide, the Illustrated Dinosaur Movie Guide, and the Illustrated Frankenstein Movie Guide. Now there's also a werewolf one as well, but I haven't got that. These books all came out about 1993, and you can see the thickness of them each. It's about 100 and... we're starting to get about that old book smell as well. 144 pages each, roughly. And they cover a lot of dinosaur, well, the genres, what they're covering. They cover them all the way up to about 1992. This dinosaur book, which is probably my favourite, which I've probably talked most about, especially in trying to plug this towards Piper Dork, covers all the Godzilla films as well, all the Gamera films. It covers up to Godzilla vs. Mothra 1992. And it talks about the Americanized Godzilla, which was to go into play for 1994 with Jan de Bont, when he didn't have a director at the time. It talks about that as well. And it also talks about the 3D Godzilla film that was supposed to be made by Steve Miner in 1983. And that's all covered in here as well, so they are quite informative. You've got films like King Kong, King Solomon's Mines, because they probably feature a dinosaur, Food of the Gods, because they're giant creatures, Harry and the Hendersons, Humanoids from the Deep, House 2, because it features dinosaurs. So you've got the Goonies in here as well, because it spoke of a giant octopus which was cut, but you can see that on DVD. GoBots, Battle of the Rock Lords, which had dinosaur monsters in them. What else have we got here? Ray Harryhausen's notes here, author notes, because the first introduction in the dinosaur book is by the late Ray Harryhausen. The vampire book, the introduction is by Peter Cushing. And the Frankenstein one was by Boris Karloff. Bless, God rest all their souls now. You'll find out in the back as well, these also cover TV titles as well, with their own ratings. I like this one's like out of 4 or 5 lightning bolts. This one's out of vampire bats, and this one's out of brontosauruses. One being the worst. They've got half ratings as well. But I liked this at the time because in the 90s, when you couldn't get many Godzilla films over in the UK, you know, they were showing you pictures and information on them, which was really good. You see the other films on the back there. You've got King Kong. Was it 1 million years BC? Raquel Welch. Carnosaur. At the Earth's Core. I've seen a lot of these films, a lot of these dinosaur films growing up, and they all go by the decade as well, starting with the silence. Each of these do, starting from the silent eras, going all the way up to the 90s. Oh, you've got the Beast from 20,000 Phantoms in there as well. Like I said, you've got the silence. You've got detail on King Kong as well. A lot of detail on that. Yeah, starting from the 30s. Obviously when King Kong first came out in 1933. Son of Kong, Mighty Joe Young, All the original films. And the information is quite useful as well, I find, you know, especially if you're a movie buff. But Stephen Jones has gone on to do many books, and he's kind of done like an updated version of these books in one massive one, which covers all kinds of monster and horror films. But these ones are really nice, especially if you buy it for a gift for someone. You can still get these on Amazon, I believe. You can check on eBay as well. Just showing them all again, just to. But you've got stuff like Reanimator in here as well. You've got like Lost Boys and the Vampire one, Bram Stoker's Dracula. You've got all kinds of classic vampire films, again, all starting from the silent eras. You've got Monster Squad in here. Some of the films do get repeated in other ones. Cue the Winged Serpent, and Bigfoot films. It goes in the introduction, it tells you what type of films it's going to cover. That one for the 80s there. 80s eras for Dinosaurs. Rawhead Rex, Cue the Winged Serpent, Tremors, Class of Nuke 'Em Eye, Matinee in the 90s. These are great books. Land Before Time, the cartoon. All the King Kong films, up to 1992. I'll try and talk briefly about it, because I've spoken about the Dinosaur one a lot. The Frankenstein one, again, all presented well. You got colour and black and white photos. You got Albert and Costello, all the Universal horrors, all kinds with Boris Karloff. You've got the Hammer horror films, of course, starting from the 50s all the way up to the 70s. Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, you name it. Frankenstein meets the monster from space. You've got the monsters. You got the monsters in here. You got Addams Family. I hope you can see these alright, because these really, really are nice books. Here we go, show you a bit of the monsters here. And the Monsters feature film that came out. Really good books. You've got The Brood. You've got information in there which you'll probably be able to get on the internet these days anyway, or what film buffs would know, but these are great gifts. Waxwork 2, the film with Zach Galligan starring Bruce Campbell. You've got casts here, you've got, like I said, the ratings. You've got It Tries at Frankenstein Unbound, that's another good one. That's the Frankenstein book. The vampire one. Try and cover it. I'm trying to cover these as in detail as I can. Addams Family again. Some Mr. Vampire films. Chinese horror. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The 90s film. Innocent Blood. You can see that. That's you've got all kinds. You've got. There's tons of films in here. Obviously there's been loads more since. But you've got a lot to... It's good because if it's a film you never heard of before, that you find that it might take your interest. You're like, oh, I can look that up or try and find it on DVD or something. House that Dripped Blood. This is the vampire book again, of course. The Hammer horror films, Fearless Vampire Slayers, Blackula, Captain Kroner's Vampire Hunter. All great films. All films that you should go out and check out as well. Mad Monster Party, I did a picture for it. Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price. I'm covering all the classic horror stars in these. Any old school fan should love these. Dr. Terror's House of Horrors. Like I said, any old school fan should really love these. Dracula, Prince of Darkness. And there's a few films in there that, you know, I'd love to get hold of again, or watch again online. But great. Just show you them again quickly. The vampire one, the dinosaur one, and a Frankenstein one, as well as a werewolf one, which is probably online, but I haven't got that one. But these are great books, all from the 90s, from Stephen Jones, illustrated movie guides of vampires, werewolves, Frankenstein and dinosaurs. I hope you've enjoyed this review. Let's look at the books at least. Have a good day, of course. Have a bloody good day, and thank you for watching. Go get some books. Go to your library. Go on Amazon and pick some up. Good night.